This is the Bodega Cooler 12-volt car refrigerator, the 75-liter dual-zone version I've been using on road trips, beach weekends, and a couple of longer boondocking stretches. I decided to make this video because I kept getting questions from friends after they saw I stopped buying ice and still managed to serve popsicles at a campsite in August. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to share what's been good, what's been annoying, and who I think will actually get their money's worth out of it. Quick context so you know where I'm coming from. I've lived with basic ice chests for years, then tried a cheaper 12V thermoelectric cooler that never really cooled below ambient by more than a handful of degrees. This Bodega is a compressor fridge freezer with 2 zones. It sits somewhere between budget and premium in this category. It's not bargain bin cheap, but it's definitely priced lower than some of the big-name expedition brands. If you're a weekend camper, a family who hates dealing with soggy food, or someone doing longer van or RV trips, this is the kind of thing that can make life a lot easier. Real-world usage is where it wins me over. It's genuinely large. In my mid-size SUV, it takes up about half the cargo floor. That forced me to rethink packing, but the upside is huge capacity. I can load enough food for a 4-day family trip without playing Tetris every time I grab a drink. The split zones are the hero feature for me. I keep the left side as a fridge for drinks, produce, and leftovers, and the right side as a freezer for meat and ice cream. On a sweltering day, I had it keep ice cream completely solid, while the other side kept veggies crisp. Opening one lid, instead of exposing everything, means it doesn't lose cold air as fast. I love the removable baskets. I load them in the kitchen and drop them in, which saves my back and keeps things organized. The LED lights inside are bright enough that I can find the mustard at midnight without rummaging. The reversible lids are a thoughtful touch. I flipped mine so they open the way that makes sense for how it sits in my trunk. There are drains in each compartment, and that makes cleaning simple. After a spill, I rinsed with a little water, pulled the plugs, and let it drain out the bottom. Zero drama. Performance-wise, it cools fast. I plug it into AC in the house and pre-chill before a trip so it doesn't hammer my car battery right away. From room temp down to fridge temps happens quickly, and getting to deep freeze doesn't take forever either. Once it hits the set temps, it cycles on and off. The noise is a soft hum. I've slept next to it in the back of the SUV, and it never kept me up. Putting a rubber mat underneath helps if your floor tends to resonate. Power is where a lot of these units stumble, but this one's been dependable for me with a few caveats. The battery protection settings are crucial. I usually keep it at the higher cutoff when using the starter battery so I don't get stranded, and I drop it to the lower cutoff when I'm on a dedicated lithium battery. It'll run happily off a portable power station. On mild days, I got a full day plus from a mid-size unit, and with 200 watts of solar into a 100 amp-hour lithium battery on a van trip, it just chugged along without me thinking about it. The only time I had an issue was an E1 error when I tried a cheap, thin cigarette lighter cable in a friend's truck. Swapped to heavier gauge wiring, and it never came back. If you're running it full-time from a vehicle, use a solid 12-volt connection with good wire. The wheels and handle are a mixed bag. On pavement or packed dirt, rolling it is fine, even when it's loaded with drinks. On sand or deep gravel, those wheels dig in, and it turns into a workout. The telescopic handle flexes more than I'd like when it's loaded heavy. I treat it gently and lift when there's a big curb or steps. I wouldn't want to haul it solo across a long, soft beach. But moving it from garage to car or across a campground, totally manageable. The app is nice to have, not something I rely on. From the driver's seat, I check temps and switch from max to eco. Pairing was straightforward, but Bluetooth drops happen if I walk away or if my phone's juggling other connections. The physical buttons are always the backup, and they're simple. The screen shows both zone temps and your voltage, which is handy when you're trying to gauge how your battery's doing. Comparing it to what I used before, it's night and day versus an ice chest. No more soggy cheese, no more fishing out pans from a slushy mess, and no more driving out for more ice every day. Compared to the cheaper 12-volt cooler I tried, it isn't even close. That older one could never keep meats truly safe in summer heat. Against the premium brands, the Bodega doesn't feel as fancy. The plastics are fine, but not luxurious, and the handle could be sturdier. That said, performance has been on point. It gets cold, stays cold, and doesn't guzzle power. For me, the value lands in that sweet spot where I'm getting dual zones, serious capacity, and reliable cooling without paying top-shelf prices. 2 or 3 benefits matter most to me. Dual zone flexibility means I'm not choosing between frozen food and cold drinks. Efficient power use means I can run it off-grid without anxiety, especially in eco mode overnight. And the capacity genuinely reduces how often I have to shop, which is huge on longer trips. Everything else, like the baskets, lights, and reversible lids, just make it easier to live with. Is it perfect? No. It's heavy, so plan to load it empty and then pack it in the car. The handle is good, but shouldn't be abused. The wheels are fine on firm ground, not great in soft terrain. The app is helpful, but flaky sometimes. None of those have been deal breakers for me, and the core job, keeping food at safe temps in real heat, has been consistently solid. If you're on the fence, ask yourself how often you camp or travel by car, and how much you hate dealing with ice. If you're out a few weekends a year with a family, or you're doing longer trips where fresh groceries aren't always nearby, this has been worth it. If you're mostly doing short day trips and keeping a couple of sodas cold, it's probably overkill. For everyone else, it's a strong value play that punches above its price tier on performance. Drop your questions or your own experience in the comments. If this video helped, hit subscribe so you don't miss future reviews and road-tested gear tips.